the pine. Ooh, red tractors in the pine. Jack keeps yapping about my life like it knows my every move, but it never stacked up birch pile high or pulled a stuck rig loose. Long field flat and frozen, breath hangs wide in the air. I got belly under blankets and diesel in my prayer. Weather is the boss out here, not some screen, not some talking my ear. From the grain to the gray old moss, clock says go, but the sky says stop. I plan, I push, I cuss, I toss, but the weather is the boss. Red Massey hums at sunrise, tracks through slush and clay. Spruce line holds the hillside where the saw sings half the day. Skis lean by the back door, waiting on a clear blue spell. I read the clouds like scripture, more than any manual. Weather is the boss out here, not some screen, not some talking my ear. From the grain to the gray old moss, clock says go, but the sky says stop. I plan, I push, I cuss, I toss, but the weather is the boss. Frost, flood, hail, thaw, I just dance to what I'm dealt. Oh yeah, you can tell me what I should do, but this land decides itself. Weather is the boss out here, not some screen, not some talking my ear. From the grain to the gray old moss, clock says go, but the sky says stop. I plan, I push, I cuss, I toss, out on this finished cross. Yeah, yeah, the weather is the boss. Great dawn breath, coffee in a jar, frost on the shed roof, keys in my hand. Mass at 35, waiting by the birch line. Old paint fading, still stops on command. Oh yeah, red tractors in the pines, working through the finished sky. From the barley to the rye, and the spruce that scrapes so high. 35, 165, 399, still pulling fire. 645 by the front of the line. Red tractors in the pine. Rain dust dancing, sun breaks the fall. Black soil turning under steel and slaw. 165 holes through the low wet ground. 399 holes as the swans swing around. Red tractors in the pine, working through the finish. red tractors in the pine, working through the finished sky, from the valley to the ride, and the spruce that scrapes so high. 35, 165, 399, still pulling fine.
Good morning. Oh yeah, I don't know if it shows on stream, but can you see if you can see the neighbor's field there? There's like probably 1,000 geese. There's some on our field here also. You can see there 100. So yeah, if we would have fall crops now, rip fall crops, you can probably hear them a little bit. But there's a lot. There's probably 100 on our field and 1,000 on the neighbors. So if you get this amount, you can imagine a few thousand birds. They eat a lot. They stay there a few days. They just eat everything. But yeah, let's see if we can fix this small issue with the greenhouse here. I'm gonna go with the light solution first. And then if this doesn't work, then we need a heavier solution in the future. So we had this issue of these panels when it's windy. They're like down there in like a little groove down here. When it's windy, they don't weigh a lot, so they kind of pop up, and then this part down here is like loose. Now it's not loose, you can see it's like, but then it pops up and then it can move freely this way, and that will like wear down the panel like in no time. So I'm gonna try to like, oh, I need to remember that there was this thing here also. Maybe it's easier to, I'm gonna try to probably put like a tape on the side here like this, and on the side here, and hopefully that keeps it from like popping up. There shouldn't be too much, like it's only when the wind pushes it like this, it's like somehow also lifting it. And yeah, I can't access the upper end here, so I can't put anything to keep it solidly down there. So we'll try with a little, we'll put a little duct tape piece here, see if that's gonna do anything. If not, then we have to like drill a hole and put some sort of like thing there. Not the easiest, it's like a small issue, but it's like not very easy to fix. Because I can't put, it would be simple if I could put something up here to wedge it down, so it would be absolutely solidly down. But yeah, we'll try to put like just a piece of duct tape like this, and hopefully that keeps it from popping up. I think that's gonna be our first solution. Thought about putting it down there, but it's not gonna be easy to put it there because this thing is like, there's like a thing here. It's gonna be easier to put the duct tape piece here. We'll try that. We'll put it, it's all the side panels. The end panels haven't really popped out, I think, a single time. I think they're good. But it's the side panels, at least this one and this one have popped out, and maybe there was some other. So we'll try to stop that. You can kind of expect when it's this cheap, it's probably made in China or something. Then there's like small things like this that you have to kind of fix yourself later. Kind of a little bit expected. We'll try if we can do a quick fix. And if this doesn't work, then we need a more substantial fix. So yeah, now it's down. Try to put it down here maybe. Then if I can get this put here, that's another thing. Hopefully that's gonna be just enough. to keep it from lifting. We'll see. You could put one on both sides, but we'll try with one on each side, one per panel for now, just keeping it from popping up. Put the potatoes there. Don't see anything up on out of the ground yet. They should be coming up soon. At least now when we don't have... It should soon not be -degrees during the night anymore. So then it might actually... And the potatoes might actually start to grow more. They've been in the ground for like almost 2 weeks now, but when it's been so cold during the night, even if it's in a greenhouse here, it's not really, they haven't really grown much. And it's still, this is like just very thin plastic, so it's not like isolated. During the night, it's probably the same temp in here than what it is like outside. So it's, during the day, it's very much warmer here, but during the night, it's not very much different. We could also, I dug down like a thermometer in the ground there. We could see what it is now more in the morning. It's been like +10 degrees, but we'll see what it is now in the... Like last night, it was still like -2 outside, I think so. We could dig that out once we've done this and see what the temp is. Also, somehow to latch the door closed when you're on the inside would be kind of nice. Now you can only latch it when you're on the outside. If I could put like something underneath this screw, maybe. Just a simple latch to keep it. Yeah, it could maybe work. Just a piece of metal with one hole. It could actually work. We could try to make that actually also. That would be nice. Should be able to go inside and close the door. Not a big deal, but... You see the dandelions have started to grow already. Can do some pre-weeding before we put anything else here. I think maybe later this week we might actually start to put something else to grow here other than the potatoes. I think at this point, as soon as it's not -degrees during the night, then we could start to put something else here. But it's still kind of risky. A lot of the more sensitive stuff I probably don't want to put out here yet. It would be kind of better if the duct tape would be here, because then it would kind of stop. You'd put it like this and it would actually stop this. It's the motion this way that we're trying to stop, but there's a lip here, so it's very hard to put duct tape in there. But we'll try this and then we'll see. When the first time we get like over 10 meter per second winds, then we'll see. That's when the problem arise, because right now it's fine. But when you have more heavy winds, that's when there might be some issues. We'll see if Jesus tape is enough to fix this. I don't know what you call this, duct tape, whatever it's called. We also call this Jesus tape. Now you can hear the geese for sure. We'll go outside once this is fixed, then we can really enjoy the geese sounds. Then we'll see if that's fixed. Then the other thing is here, this one. We could try to, if we unscrew this screw a little bit, find a metal piece just like this long that has one hole, or we make one hole, and we put it underneath here. This is a little bit higher, then you just wedge it there and tighten the screw. Then it could work as a very, or it could be like this long, then you could slide it up from here, just like a latch from the inside. We could make a very, very, very simple thing. We'll see if we can find something good. But that should be fixed. And the potatoes probably don't need watering, that it's still wet on the surface. But we could dig up the thing here, see how much the soil is now, kind of in the morning before the sun has really had time to warm anything up. Yeah, it's still like 8 degrees down there. So the potatoes, they should be growing. It should be warm enough for potatoes if the soil stays. I mean, the very surface, this has probably been minus degrees last night, but the potatoes are a little bit in the ground, so should be growing. Just weeding already before anything has even been planted here. Few weeds here and there. But yeah, we can try to fix a door next before I forget that, and then we'll go to the outside garden and do some flattening of dirt. But yeah, this should be just a big screwdriver like that should work there. Don't have a fancy latch like this for the inside, but we could try. Just make a little bit when you're inside. You don't need to, otherwise you have to leave the door like flapping, and it's kind of annoying. We'll see if we can make a quick fix there also. Geese moved over. Then I can also hear some other birds. bunch of geese. Det var 100 där just på det där ägaren. Nu kan jag föra dem här bort. Se, jag måste på en liten latch på insidan av dörren. Det skulle gå lätt bara en metallbit som har ett hål i. Bara riktigt sån simple thing. Good check, I got some things growing inside here. They should have, see if they have enough water. Someone stole my chair. Nej, men jag ska stå till det där, att jag ser den där. Ja. Den kan den inte vara framme. Ja. Den här, ja, jag har. Ja, man kan ha, jag har den bara, det är lättare. Det här är bra ställ hit, man behöver lite korotus. Anna är att lyfta ner dem hifrån, det går nog, men där kommer en till en. These are seem to be wet enough. These should be tomatoes, I think. And these are the watermelons. Maybe we could put a little water, shouldn't hurt. Ja, snart kan man nog börja stänga av. Ja.
I nästa vecka skulle låta bli, ja sen 14 månader skulle låta bli finsläpp.
Ja, kanske.
Det kan bli gjort att jag skulle här. Men här var det maj. Men det var så här.
Man kan nog det datarummet de är nästan att jag kan stänga av värmen. De har datan på lite så solen lyser in på dagen så de alldeles heter den.
Ja, det är mest det där lite värme var det. Och relativt 90, fler 90.
John is pressure washing the tractors back there. You can hear disco music playing. See if you could just a little piece of metal with a hole. Like this could work. This already has like a hole. Let me put that under the screw, then you can use this as a just a little hatch when you go in there. So these have like sharp edges. I think it's too bad. It could be, another thing could be like I think this could work pretty well. Maybe use a file at least, a little bit on the edges. So it's not super sharp, maybe. Corners at least. Kind of removed if there's any sharp things. Sometimes be like the edges can be sharp. Thin metal, but it should be enough just to keep the door when you're in there. Keep it closed. Doesn't need to be anything that sturdy. Now hopefully put this like this, then yeah, this should be good. Shouldn't be any sharp edges there, so we put this behind the screw, and then you can just the screwdriver, then we'll see if we can put it in place. This one might fit. A very small fix, but it might. It's so annoying when you go in there when the door like keeps flapping in the wind. It's just so annoying. It's not really, doesn't really matter otherwise, but hopefully this hole is big enough for this screw. That's the only thing. Seems to be actually. Gonna move the whole screw there. Might be too tight. Well, yeah, now if you want to lock yourself in here, now you can lock yourself in. You can get it more down, but that steep, it just needs to be a little bit. Now it's not flopping in the wind if you're inside. Mostly you can just keep it unused if you're just coming in for a quick check. Then it can just be like that. But then there is like an option to close it from the inside. For the most part you go in, do something. You can have it like this if it's not windy, and then you close with the proper latch. But a couple of small upgrades here. Small upgrades. One more thing that we might need to buy is like these that keep it secured to the ground. There's like in the middle, there's like a rebar that goes down maybe 30 centimeters. But I think if it's going to be really windy, it might still want to lift the whole side up and like topple the whole thing over. So we might want to buy those like, it's like a big screw that you can screw down like 1/2 meter or more in the ground. Maybe put one of those on each side to secure it, like so it actually stays down if it's really windy. I mean, it's been a couple of times now like 50 meters per second in gusts, and it survived that. So, but yeah, if you get really like a proper storm, then we might want to like lock it down to the ground even more. And then it remains to be seen how well these panels do in really high winds, because they can kind of bend a lot here. Remains to be seen if it's gonna be strong enough. Aika liten klinko bara, så nu det där växthuset hade inte, när man får in i växthuset, vet du, man kunde bara stänga dörren utifrån, så när man får in i växthuset så kan man inte stänga dörren så det lite bara så flaxar det. Nu så att det en liten, det var en skruv, så tog jag bara en plåtbit med 2 hål och satt på in, så när man får in så kan man fasta.
Eller band.
Nej, men en liten metallvipo, så det är bara vet, så att när man får in så kan man stänga. Nej, så kan man vet du stänga, så det är störande om man är det så flaxar dörren där i vinden allting. Annars skulle vara att låsen den hålls upp i dörren, det skulle vara en möjlighet. Men det är inte så lätt, det var färdigt skruv. Jag tog bara skruv, en metallbit under och skruv, så var det färdigt.
Det ska nog vara fast när det blåser så får det sönder.
Jo, nej, men sen varje gång som man kommer ut så kan man använda det här viskliga. Men när man får in så får man inte stänga det. Jag byter istället plexi istället nu.
Jag ska byta det.
Sågar jag plexibit.
Mitt i att när det är liksom ett risprickor, det är nog fågelfigur
Säkert, ja.
på mitten är det liksom
Det är mest det som det.
Det är fågel emot.
Ja.
Jag tycker sådana luddar ner så någon väldigt vit upp.
Bara sån här kommer så får det rakt in i glaset. Sån där Jesse med dis och så att om Jesse kommer så får det in ut 2 glas.
Så borde det där plastet hålla lite bättre.
Ja, det plexibiten håller nog bra. Så om man alltid byter till någon, så om man har bytt det så behöver man nog nästan aldrig byta med sen.
Man ser hur mycket liksom mörkare det blir.
Jag tror att det hålls ganska bra. Let's smooth some dirt out in the garden. Not gonna plant anything outside, still kinda too cold, but what we can do is smooth the surface so it's ready for planting. Probably, yeah, within a week and a half I wanna plant something outdoors probably, once it starts warming up more. Thought I left my rake somewhere here. With this guy we should be able to smooth this stuff out. This is basically the same that we'll do in the big fields, but there we use the tractor, of course. But this place, it's too narrow for can't even fit the tractor here with the harrow. So it's better just do this by hand. Today's exercise. We don't even necessarily need to walk on it too much, so we don't have any compaction. If I go around and do from the outside edge, should be able to do it all, I think, or at least most stuff. Where did the geese go? Now that field was full of geese a little bit ago. They went somewhere else now. To another field probably. We'll see how long I want to smooth this out. There's an old potato from last year, I think. Whatever's left of that, not much. Maybe we'll flatten it towards here, and then the rest we can just mow here. These grass chunks are not that easy to flatten out even. So yeah, last year we had potatoes here, so probably this year we want to put something else here, maybe. If you put any potatoes, then them further there. This last bit we'll just try to make it so smooth that we can actually mow this with the lawnmower. Just avoid any super big unevenness. Might be some, but it's good enough. Might be time to put the chat phone somewhere else in here if we do this. And shake it off. Shake it off, shake it off. Try to make it pretty smooth. Pretty even. Sun comes out. Need to drop the jacket, I think. Still, yesterday you could be outside already with the t-shirt, especially if you do some sort of physical activity. It'd be kind of nice to drag this upwards. Upwards here, feel this kind of hole here. Feels pretty firm, the soil, so I think it's pretty dry. I'm not that heavy, so I don't really cause too much compaction, I think. Hello there, team. Now that's pretty much good. Almost like halfway there already, maybe a third. It's not gonna, shouldn't take too long. Then it can be like this for a while, and then we will plant something here later. We are not ice fishing, no. There is no ice around anymore. Definitely no ice. Fields were filled with snow, now fields are filled with geese. There's a few flying around. But yeah, it's good weather for this. If it's plus 20, then this is not fun. Now it's like not too hot. So that's why I want to get this done, even if I'm not going to plant anything right now. But then this is almost ready for planting some stuff. But yeah, as you can see here, the grass is green here already. This is not from last year. All this greenness here, this is already from this year. So in a couple of weeks this will all be very green. Very, very green. Strawberries are waking up, I think, also. Maybe do this edge first, then we'll go back on the other side and do that bit last. I did plow this with the tractor for the most part, so tractor was used here, but with the harrow it's like when you put the dualies on the tractor, I can't fit here, and this is like too narrow for the harrow. Otherwise I could harrow this with the tractor, but yeah, we want to avoid any kind of compaction here. After all, this is just a garden, so. But the plowing I can do with the tractor, then you don't have the dualies on. And then yeah, then you can barely fit here with the tractor. Right now it's like kind of a no-no. Kind of a no-go, no-no. Maybe we'll should pull that way. Might be easier. Easier to pull than push, I think. Now that might be new strawberry plants growing right there. That seems like it's kind of green. Probably waking up. But yeah, the soil is pretty loose and nice to work with. It could be much chunkier. It is it's been since the snow melted, the ground has frozen and thawed like 15 times probably. Like even last night this froze. So just the very top of the dirt here froze. You can see it's very crumbly, which makes it a lot easier to work with. If you would get a heavier rain now and then it wouldn't freeze after that, then this would be a lot more chunky, a lot more hard to work. You can see the corn plants from last year. Huge root ball. Where should we throw this? Should collect them, put them just in the empty place there. Over there in the distance I see a couple of swans on that field. So all the few birds have kind of arrived. Swans, geese, all the other smaller birds. It's kind of like a birdemic. Now we have definitely done almost 2/3. Not gonna take too long. But yeah, some biking is definitely coming up soon. I think this week we will definitely go somewhere already. It's gonna be really good biking weather. Biking things. Try to fish out the weeds, some of the bigger weed roots. If you leave them like this on the surface, they will also die. As long as they have no ground contact. It's a pretty nice pine, this one right here. That's also one pine where you see when it's all its life it's been in the open, like from all sides. You can see how it's like one trunk then splits into two trunks and bunch of branches and very crooked in every imaginable direction. Looks nice, but I wouldn't want trees like it is in the main forest, because if you try to sell that, it's not worth much. But it's a very nice, like in the garden, of course. It's not that important. Like I'm never gonna sell this tree when it's in the garden. It can be there as long as it's not dead. Looks pretty nice. Looks nice. has more character, I guess, when it's not like every other tree. Some corn debris left from last year. Try to drag it out on the big field there. Clean this up a bit. This year the corn will be in the, it will all be in the greenhouse, so should have time to complete. I think that little birds, or the little two birches there, have one at least have died on the top. Might need to cut those down. I think those have died. At least the one is dead. Other one maybe. Could definitely cut those down. Give more room to the pines and everything else that grows around there. Yeah, now just a little bit left. Little section here. And it's good. Ready for planting a little bit later. Yeah, it's not too bad here. This dirt is pretty loose. Loosey goosey. What, 3 square meters left. Almost done. Take a little breather. John already saw our snake. Usually, last year we had a snake here many days. And John already saw one snake in the forest. Which is really early. Like it's still freezing overnight. And already he saw a snake squirming around. So that's kind of early. To see a snake early April, that's definitely on the early side. There's a bunch of roots here. Bunch of bad guys. Oh, it's pretty good. Pretty even all the way. No big chunks. Most corn, trash removed. Can be for a while like this, then I might harrow it a little bit before we seed anything, so we get, if some weeds start to grow now, we can still punish them one more time before we put anything in here. Yep, I think we're pretty good here. Guess we can go see what John is doing with the tractor now. Washing it up, then we can, if he washes that tractor today, then tomorrow, maybe tomorrow or day after that, we can put the auto steer. And then, yeah, put the plow on the other tractor at some point and slowly but surely get ready for new season. Yeah, well, this is good. Let it warm up. And then at some point we can put some stuff in here. This field we can soon plow. You can see now the weeds start to grow. It's good, then they grow a little bit. And then when they're very weak, just started to grow, then you plow them. Then you cause maximum damage to weeds. That's why when I wait with the plowing, kind of plow just a few days before we seed it to maximize weed damage. I think even these spruces, like we had one tree in the garden there that took some damage this winter. It was really cold, like 30 degrees, maybe a little bit more even here. You can see these, how some of the needles are falling off. That's probably frost damage. I have really not seen it too much on spruces before, but it was really cold, like a few days there, so it's just a little bit. You can see the most of the stuff is green, so they will survive, but yeah, it was really cold for a few days there. What is it outside? 13.7 now. Pretty warm. Sun's not even shining from the full sky. It should be most days like 15 degrees now. Oh yeah, you've got some washing going on here, some washing action. Clean up the tractors before spring season. Looks moist. Nah, it's pretty dry actually. Like here it's a little wet, but like the fields are pretty dry, I would say. Like not super dry or anything, but it's definitely not wet, I would say. And it should dry up from here nicely when it should also warm up more. Like every day should be 15 degrees now, and then slowly the nights should also warm up, so we still have like every night almost it goes to freezing. But that should end soon. But the tractor is moist. After John is washing it, it's a little moist. Clean up the tractor. Get all the tractors cleaned, and tomorrow we'll put all four tractors here in a row, and then I'll try to make like a video of it and then put it in the intro of when I start streaming, when I got all the 4 tractors in a row. We've never done that before, have like all tractors in the same place. But first, need to do some washing and cleaning. Joo, 50 joo. Om det blir riktigt skitigt, ja. Kanske efter att man kan skölja efter att man har harvat allt det där. Det blir ju inte väldigt så skitigt om det kan bli så dammigt. Det kan räcka, då kan det nästan räcka med att skölja med vatten bara, eller med tryckvatten bara. Ja. Ja. Clean up. Clean up is needed. Joo, sieltä ei niitä tyhjentynyt. Att de är överkik, ja. Belts and things. Check that everything is in order. But yeah, I got the garden flattened, and the greenhouse got some upgrades. Now I think I could do a little workout here, because John takes care of this cleaning process here, I think. Try to go inside here. How much battery have we used? 86, 14% battery in how many hours have been streaming? Like 1.5 hours. So it's about 10% per hour, not that bad. New battery. But if we go inside here, I need to put the thing here and camera there. And yeah, let's see. It might cut out here for a bit. I need to set this up. I usually have like this one here, then the camera somewhere here. Then we need to maybe adjust the phone so we get cell phone, some decent cell phone signal in here. Always a struggle inside the building. How did I do this? Secure this so this doesn't fall on its face. This way. That should work. Yeah, I have new battery. The old one actually died. The old one like completely died. The old battery like started swelling up. So that one does not work at all. But let's see. Maybe it's good enough there. I'm gonna put the other phone here. Just do a little exercise here at the end. Pretty much got the garden stuff, everything done. So. But yeah, if that battery lasts, it should be the same size as the old one. So we should get about 10 hours. That would be good. Then I can do like 1 day. 1 day without charging the batteries. What is it inside here? Oh, inside here it's just 6 degrees, 7 degrees. So we might want to keep the jacket a little bit open. Yeah, soon it will be warm inside here too. Yep. Now we can do a little bit of exercise here at the end. I haven't skied for a while, so can do this a little bit. A little bit of skiing. Yeah, I did when I did work in the outside there. I got pretty warm already because when you do the gardening stuff, that was a good warm up. But this will keep me warm also. Yeah, this is the closest thing to skiing outside of skiing season. Feels pretty similar other than I'm not moving. Otherwise the same as skiing. Ski with wheels. Yeah, you can do that, but you need to have like paved roads, and around here it's mostly gravel roads, so I can't really do that. But yeah, you could do that also. That's definitely one way of skiing in the summer. The pros do it a lot, I think. Even on normal roads, yeah, you gotta be, if it's roller skis with the small wheels, and if there's like a crack in the road, it could be kind of bad. But there are specific like tracks where you can do that, and you should be able to do it on most good paved roads. But we have some bad paved roads here also. It's better to use the bike here on the gravel roads. Bigger wheels. Works better. Yeah. And we will definitely start the biking season here soon. Can definitely remove the jacket. Doesn't feel really too good to have this one on. Better to have just the long sleeved shirt. Soon it will be also t-shirt weather. Yeah, walking also works well. Just need some sort of shoes. Or you don't even need shoes necessarily. If you're really hardcore, then you can just run barefoot or walk barefoot. But yeah, we'll start. Probably this week we'll go biking for the first time again. I think the roads have dried up now, so it should be good. Should be good to go with the bikes already. Already tested the bike on the forest road here, so bike should be ready to go. Yeah, Nordic walking, yeah, it's basically also a skiing. If you do that up a hill, like run up a hill with poles, that's pretty close to skiing up a hill. You basically do this with the arms, and then you're like running up a hill at the same time. Pretty much skiing up a hill with skis. At least like classical skiing up a hill is pretty much exactly the same as running up a hill, if it's like a steep uphill. And then when you go on the flat part, then you do this skiing at least. Oh, John is also vacuuming the tractor. Nice. Nice and clean before spring season. Yeah, with this I can at least, if I do this at least a little bit in the summer, then it's, when you start in the fall, you don't have to start from like zero every time. At least with this you can keep it like, keep your skiing muscles a little bit awake. Legs are untrained, but yeah, when I do double poling, you don't really need the legs too much. That's why I like the the classical without ski wax, because then you don't basically need, you don't need legs. You just need upper body power basically. But the legs will get trained a little bit on the bike for sure. But when you ski on the flat parts, double poling, the legs do a little bit of work, but you don't really need the legs too much. It's mostly arms and upper body. And even here you can do when they do like double poling, really like max speed, you're basically lifting up like this and then pushing down. So you're basically lifting up, pushing down. So the legs are actually doing a little bit. If you do like max speed, try to put max output. So if you do it like this, you can see now the legs are also working definitely. If you do it like this, like a little bit faster pace, and you can see that the legs are definitely doing something also. So it is some leg workout too, not the heavy leg workout, but definitely doing a little bit. But if I do just casual speed, then it's not so much legs. But you still need to keep like the balance, and so it's a little bit for the legs, but not that much. Probably 80% upper body, 20% legs maybe. But yeah, if you do the skate style of skiing, then you need to do more work with the legs, because then you do a lot with the legs like this. If you do the skate style, but I prefer the like classic style. If you want your leg train, you can go deeper. Yeah, you can, but I want to try to imitate the skiing as much as possible. That's why I'm not doing like this. Because this doesn't look like skiing anymore. Now it's like some other movement. But you could do that if you want, yeah. But it's not. If you ski like that, then it's not good technique anymore. If you look at the pros when they ski, it's basically they do it like this. When they do the double poling. They don't really, if you go down, you don't really gain any more power. I mean, back in the old days when they did skiing, then they did it like this. They pushed like way far back like this. So old school double poling was more like this. But the technique has changed. These days with better skis, they don't do it like that anymore. But it looked like that when they skied in the good old days. Now it's more like it's a shorter push, but higher frequency instead. At least that's what it looks on TV when the pros do it. But they don't go as far down or as far back. They don't push with the arms. They stop like here. Back in the day, they went like all the way back. And they also they started the double pole like this with straight arms. Basically did it like this back in the day. This feels really dumb actually. They basically did it like this. But yeah, you wanna bend your arms a little bit, get your arms closer to yourself, then you get more power. If you're like this, then you don't get that much power when you push down. You don't get the body into it. this guy doing here? Need to get the cables or rope placed in the right place here. Sometimes it wants to not to work as intended. The pros have the technique optimized for sure, yeah.
Här går lista i meters. Du ska ha 10 gånger 22. Nej, det är
Astumparna här nere.
Men det är bara...
De är uppe i vinden ju snart.
Det är bara... Det skulle vara passat tjockt med lite för smalt.
De är uppe i vinden. Där nästan.
Det är den nedre listan.
Men de är uppe i vinden, ja. De är mest de här långa. De är mycket listor.
Sån där sågar ju.
Ja, de här största de här, de är uppe i vinden.
Ja, men de är... Det är 42 gånger.
I vinden är största där.
Vad är det där?
Men de tar de från vinden. De är till
Det
väldigt.
är sådana som blivit nu med sågar bra. Det blir sådana här passliga.
Ja, de är sådana triangellistor som kvar.
No, för alkaa det niin, det var lite mjuks så. Så det niilakaan ei vedy, että ne liksom vedy. Att det ser ut.
Ja, det är bättre.
Lite. Jo, lite likadan i pansen. Det niilakan var lite mjuk.
Ja.
Den där sidorna. Men det...
Här är bara till såg, om du börjar såga.
Jo. Jo, för det...
Om inte handsågen finns nog här. Det där det är bara att sätta plugg fast.
Ja,
Och du ska ha noga vinklar.
ja, det är så att halva...
De är all här, de där.
Fast försvann ju.
Jag
Du
vill
ska
ha
behöva det där grönt.
en
Vart är det där grönt där, vet du, som man vrider. Den här vinkeln gör. Men det behöver inte mer.
Ja, det är allt påtyga kallt.
Men det var inte i backen, det där grönt.
När vi lagar ramen så behöver
Det där grönt, vet du. Så det är flat. Så.
Nej, det är något. Det är användbart det här.
Man skulle ha hela backen i den här, så vet man.
Ja, jag tog.
Men vart är det vannasen här då?
No, det är allt det nog inte använt.
Det var vart är det grönt, det var inte i backen. Det är det i backen.
Inte använt den.
Det är grönt, vet du, som man slår i och vrider. Så det är nej, som bryter.
Inte använt den.
Och det är svart, den är inuti det. Det är svart. Den är i pannan.
Mä en ole lähtenyt tähän ja puutöitä.
Jo, så resten måste vara i pannan.
Här behövs såg.
Jo, här behövs ju. Jo, det behövs alltid millan nu. Och
Vi lagade ramen under växthus.
Här är ju mesta polagret.
Ja,
Men de är uppe listor.
Men de här slipper man.
De måste nog vara för de är sådana här listor så att
De är nog de bästa.
Ja. Det ska vara en gång 2 sen, 2,2,1 gånger 5 och så 1 meter.
Ja.
Ja, jo. Kan det brinna då? Kan det brinna?
Nej, det gick inte, jag får ladden tomma, det gick inte att ta ut den, så det är helt noll. Det tar nog inte
Det
noll.
var inte strömmen.
No, de är nog, jag får ta ut men det kom inte ut. Det måste ut så händer. Det är inte. Det är farligt, det är så att om det börjar bli så är det bara att ta
om. Det är inte nära något sånt.
Så skulle kunna vara
Jo, som.
Det är med akkor eller rom.
Jo, de ska alltid där nu till.
Det ska de
Ja, det är TV också.
Ska inte vara samma ställe akku.
Jo, akku, jo.
Det där TV-pimen ja, det tar.
Jo.
Och det är som dator ut. Det är foten till det. Foten till data.
Aj, ja, jo.
Nätet var fast.
Det behöver inte gå något.
Det är bara skor.
Det
får akku.
Och det där är ju.
Elektronik.
Han bytte var ju.
Det är akkor och elektronikskrot.
Nu den där ska kylta där.
Det bör vara en kassa till försmåningom.
För det är spillor, ja. Här uppe är inte mycket listor in.
Nej, de är nog aldrig uppe. De är de in, ja. Cable, maybe this is spun. Needs to be like, when it goes back up, it needs to be kind of in line. Sometimes it starts to do that. Maybe the, not cable, but maybe this thing is twisted. That could cause some issues. quite normalized. Pretty much on that side. This one of these broke already once, I had to replace it. I think it was this side, the other one is still original. Can break over. It's still, this is still like some sort of like cord. Breaks over time. Okay, now it might work. Both sides. When it's like this, and then there's like a little like spring that makes it so it kind of pulls back a little bit. That's pretty good. Yeah, there should be more streams now this week. Probably stream most days this week. There's gonna be more stuff happening on the farm, I think now. But yeah, have a good work day. Yeah, it's not too tiring when I don't do not super fast pace, but it's good to do, get a little distance in, so to speak. There was like originally with this one, there came like a computer that would say how far you've gone, but that one broke real fast. So yeah, now you kind of I just usually use a little bit of time here, but then you could see like from the computer here, you could see like how many watts you were outputting and how far you've gone, I think. So that would be nice, but yeah, it broke and I haven't bothered really trying to fix it. There's like a little red box there with like a very simple like computer. Should attach like have a big screen here and have like first person skiing going on there, then you could immerse yourself into the skiing more. But yeah, I haven't done too much cardio lately, so it will be nice to get back on the bike. That's very good cardio for the legs at least. And I mean, cardio is cardio. If the legs are moving or hands are moving, it doesn't matter too much. As long as the heart is pumping a little bit more than if you just stand still. Oh, the sun is shining actually. It's actually been sunny now. Usually this time of the year is really sunny. Not many rainy days at all. Oh, Jim, thank you for the 200 bits there. Thank you very much. can do a little bit more exercise here, then it should be good for today. Then yeah, tomorrow we might put the auto steer in the tractor. We'll see how far John gets with the cleaning of the tractors. One thing. Where did we put the... I had the camera on a stick. Where did I put the stick? Yeah, when you go riding with the bike, I think I'm just gonna keep a camera on the head for now. I could mount it on the bike somewhere, but it's gonna, if it's directly on the bike frame, it's gonna be probably bouncy. You could of course try to have it on like the steering, maybe somewhere, but on the head it kind of works well. We will see. We will see once we get into that again. But it seems to be working now. Last time I had to move the one cell phone, put it in the window over there to get internet, but today it seems fine, even just having one phone here, one phone there, without even putting anything in better positions. I guess internet is having a good day today. It's been having, last time it had a bad day. Now internet is having a good day, it seems. A working day. A little bit more than we're done for today, I think. Some stuff done on a Monday, and we'll see what comes up tomorrow. You can also do it like this without just the arms, and it's much heavier, but adjust on a trained arm, so I can do it like this. Mosquito already now, what the hell? Usually mosquitoes come later. Early mosquitoes. April mosquitoes. Subdued.
Spring cleaning is
Spring cleaning has started.
ja.
Yeah, I think that might be enough for today now. It's gonna stretch a bit and then it's good. So yeah, thanks for watching today. We should be back probably tomorrow or day after that, so more tractor stuff, more biking coming up. Thanks.
Great dawn bread, coffee in a jar, frost on the shed roof, keys in my hand. Massive 35, waiting by the birch line. Old paint fading, still starts on command. Oh yeah, red tractors in the pines, working through the finished sky. From the barley to the rye, and the spruce that scrapes so high. 35, 165, 399, still pulling fine. 645 by the front of the line. Red tractors in the pine. Rain dust dance red tractors in the pine, working through the finished sky, from the valley to the ride, and the spruce that scrapes so high. 35, 165, 399, still pulling fine. 645 out the front of the line. Red tractors in the pine. Red tractors in the pine. Chat keeps yapping about my life like it knows my every move, but it never stacked up birch pile high or pulled a stuck rig loose. Long field flat and frozen, breath hangs wide in the air. I got belly under blankets and diesel in my prayer. Weather is the boss out here, not some screen, not some talking my ear. From the grain to the gray old moss, clock says go, but the sky says stop. I plan, I push, I cuss, I toss, but the weather is the boss. Red Massey hums at sunrise, tracks through slush and clay. Spruce line holds the hillside where the saw sings half the day. Skis lean by the back door, waiting on a clear blue spell. I read the clouds like scripture, more than any manual. Weather is the boss out here, not some screen, not some talking my ear. From the grain to the gray old moss, clock says go, but the sky says stop. I plan, I push, I cuss, I toss, but the weather is the boss. Frost, flood, hail, thaw, I just dance to what I'm dealt. Oh yeah, you can tell me what I should do, but this land decides itself. Weather is the boss out here, not some screen, not some talking my ear. From the grain to the gray old moss,